So if you did have a tower, then does that mean that some of these little, like the light aircrafts and those kinds of things, like would they have a harder time landing then as soon as that comes in,
No.
or is there?
No.
So there's no negative side of getting this. It's
No.
just
No.
okay.
No, there's not. No, the tower would not prevent anyone from flying here, and we certainly wouldn't want to have one if it did. You know, like
No.
I said, Seneca College has 22 airplanes,
And they're going and coming all the time.
Yeah,
all the
you
time.
bet. The flight training, and we're in a pilot shortage right now. That flight training program is so expensive, or it's so important, but the pilots that they're training coming out of there, they're such high caliber out of that school that they're getting hired direct to airlines.
Yeah.
Like,
That's really interesting.
yeah.
That's
Now,
a
there
really
was
good point.
23, there was 23 or 33 graduates this past May,
Yep.
and every one of them has gotten a job with one of the larger aircraft.
We're talking Air Canada Jazz or Sunwing.
WestJet,
Yep.
So right out of here.
great at.
Yep. It's a quite robust program. It's a degree program. out
Yeah,
of
one of the
Seneca
lads,
College,
one of
so-
the lads that we had. So we'll hire fuelers and kids from Seneca College to work for us here.
Right.
And one of the lads that has worked for us for 2 years, he graduated in May, and he was picked up by Jazz, and he's out west now.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is he flying then? It's like
Right now
737?
he's doing no. Right now he's doing all his required training and
With them.
with them now.
Okay, so he's got to. So that's like they do other training once he's on the job with their
Oh, yes.
airline, so he
Oh,
gets
yes.
familiar with their aircraft.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
The requirements for it are pretty robust. There's a ground training program. There's simulator training. There's just shadowing other pilots as well. But yes, they are coming out of that school, and if they get hired at Sunwing, they're going right to 737s
Right.
with the proper training, of course. And the thing is, with those students, they have to meet the same qualifications that every other pilot that gets hired has.
Right.
So it's not like they're skimping out.
Right.
They still have to meet all the same requirements, and they do though, because that training program is so comprehensive.
It's 3 or 4 years.
It's 4 years, yeah.
depending on what the pilot is actually wanting to elevate themselves
What he actually
to.
wants to accomplish.
Yep.
So Seneca is a college program. So you would just apply for it the same way that you normally would with any college.
Yeah, and I think Seneca College is one of the few that's a degree program of the flight training. So you get a degree at the end of it. And one of the selling points for that too is the programs and courses that they're doing in the first couple of years. If they decided to do an extra couple of years at Ryerson, they have a joint program, they could get an engineering degree. So those are the kind of courses that they're taking at Seneca. The students are disciplined and they maintain themselves well and they work hard.
Much so.
Yeah.
And so they okay. So Seneca, you go off. Do they get on the when you're doing one of these courses with Seneca? Like you're up in planes. Like you already have your pilot's license by the time you're done the program.
Oh, you have. So you go through your private pilot license. You do your night rating, so you can fly at night. You
Right.
do your multi-engine rating. You do your commercial pilot license. You do your instrument flight rules rating. They do everything. And by the end of it, they get something called. It's an integrated airline transport pilot license. So they meet all the requirements to have an airline transport pilot license, but they just need to spend some time acquiring the hours. So they need to fly a little bit more afterward because they pass 2 major tests to get that license. So they have a 5-year period from the time they graduate to fly all the hours required to get that airline transport pilot license. So they're well equipped to fly. Yeah.
So is there any link between the Air Force, like RCAF, and this, or is this purely for commercial purposes?
So this is a civilian program, but actually, the Department of National Defense does have a joint program with Seneca College on the education side.
Okay.
Not so much on the flying side because the Canadian Forces do their own flight training, but they want their pilots to have degrees, so they go and sit through the academics with Seneca. So there is a joint partnership there. I couldn't tell you too much about it, but I know it exists. Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about the schools here. Like Holy Cross, there's a connection with Holy Cross. Fleming College, the Loomex group is training and consulting, right?
You bet.
Yeah, and we just talked about Seneca, and there's
Aerotrike, yeah.
yeah, aviation.
Yep.
Let's talk about the secondary school. Like kids coming down here, what do they do? I mean,
So the
How's that?
Holy Cross program, it's an aviation it's a skills major program, I
Yeah.
think they call it. And they were located at the airport for a period of time. They're not located on site here anymore, but they do co-op placements with businesses around the airport.
Okay, okay.
So whether it's Flying Colors or they might be at Seneca, they do co-op placements. So during their term, they're down at the airport every day working.
Oh.
But not only that, I mean, Stuart Travel uses the big time for the charter
That
flights.
was on the list too.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you would have experienced. You know, if they've got
Some of those people look like family members.
on the days when the kids all from the high school can't come down on our departure days for our passenger charters. Yeah, there's a few family members that come.
No, we're
down.
all so close. We are a family here. That's what it is.
But we take the entire class. So whether there's 15 kids or there's 23 kids or 30 kids,
And they'll come down to the
they
airport.
all
and
come
watch.
down to the airport, and they don't just watch; they participate.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They're in everything from baggage handling to security to parking detail, meet and greet, you name it. We want to show them exactly what it is that we're doing down here, so that they can understand what the flow of
How an airport works.
exactly from a very obviously minor aspect, but the components are all there. Whether it be CBSA, whether it be the full security and checking, the baggage processes, the wanding, the coding, the scanning, you name it. They're involved and get to witness and be part of all of it.
And Fleming College, what's happened? Like the partnership with Fleming College.
So in the past, there's been several programs with Fleming, and they were working with Flying Colors to kind of develop a hands-on specialty program in hopes that Flying Colors could train some employees with Fleming, and students that came from Fleming could go direct to Flying Colors. And I'm not sure where the talks are at with them right now, but I know that the new president of Fleming was certainly interested in being an active participant and
Yeah.
partnering with the airport.
They would be. I would
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an exciting program, and really hope that they get to
Yeah.
hit both components of what the needs are.
Yeah.
Because Flying Colors, with their expansion and what they've got,
I
what
know
they've got on the
huge
book,
hangar over here being built.
Yeah.
they
there
do,
sure
and,
is.
and they're
Those people are-
They've made it clear that there is a skill shortage, and they're doing everything that they can possibly do from a private enterprise to work with the school to ensure that kids that are coming in and graduate have an opportunity for full-time work.
Oh yeah.
On the day that they graduate.
So the high school program, does that lead into one of the other programs, or is it like how does that connect, or does it connect, or is it sort of up to the kid however he wants to do it?
Yeah.
It's more up to the child.
Yeah.
I know Stuart Travel provides a bursary at the end of the year for a deserving person within that school year that is going to go on toward post-secondary education.
Oh, okay.
And that high skills major program is just so. We have an employee at the Loomex group right now, and he helps with airport stuff as well. He's one of the on-duty staff here at the airport. He was one of the first student classes through the high skills major program, and then he
Okay.
went to Georgian College and did an airport operations diploma program, and then we've hired him here right out of school. And so he kind of said, well, I've gone from being at this airport, gotten my diploma, and here I am back at the airport. And he's great. And that's the kind of thing that we want. We want to draw people into aviation. I think that high school program is really
Yeah.
doing
I think
it.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So the takeaway then is like for doing the high skills major, they get really familiar with all the terminology. They get really comfortable. They're not graduating high school with a pilot's license, are
No,
they?
no,
Okay.
no. I don't think they do any flight training
I
there.
don't believe
Yeah.
there's any of that either.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Fleming one, that actually is, would that be like similar level to Seneca, or is that like something you do before Seneca? Or?
No, it has nothing to do with the flying.
Flying.
It has
Okay.
nothing to do
It's
with
all
pilot
trade,
training.
all
Yeah.
trades related.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Specific to Flying Colors.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is about like redoing the inside of the airplanes, working with the different.
Yeah, and I don't know that program actually exists right now.
Okay.
But I believe that
Working towards it.
yeah,
Okay.
the new president of Fleming is very much on board to help support the community and
Yeah.
keep jobs here and develop what we need. Yeah.
Okay.